Came across this clip on BoobTube. Plays for 5 minutes and 28 seconds. I've not listened to it yet, so I have no idea what's in it, but the title intrigued me. Put up by Talk TV. He's got 976,000 subscribers. Title, Something Fishy and Suspicious About Trump Assassination Attempt, says security expert. So let's have a listen. I'll try to get rid of any of those ads if they pop up.
Really interesting to wonder where this is going to go. Well, Will Geddes is now ready. He's an international security expert. You may have just heard me, Will, morning to you, discussing how on earth someone in such an obvious rooftop position with a clear line of sight to the former president, how on earth they weren't picked up on by the security services, how they were able to get on the roof and mount a rifle in such vision and in such clear view of everyone.
Especially when you have people ranting and raving to the police, look, there's a guy up there, he's got a rifle. Look, he's up there, he's got a rifle. Huh? And they did nothing about it. Let's go back. And get to the stage where they can actually fire shots.
It's astounding, Christo. I'll be honest with you. There is something a little bit fishy about this situation because ultimately, you know, when you're running the protection of a principal, one of the biggest concerns that you will always have is if you're taking them into open spaces, it could be out either singing, promoting, talking, you know, canvassing, whatever it might be, that wherever you have that event, you want to lock it down, secure it as much as possible. And the Secret Service that will be attached to President Trump should have got all of the highest positions, the overviews that there would be of the event space covered. And that's not only the spaces that they themselves can then observe everybody who may be on the ground, anybody who might be in the vicinity, anybody who might be approaching in the vicinity, but also on other rooftops, in apartment windows, in office windows. So there's something a little bit suspicious about this. To put it
but when you say suspicious, what do you quite mean by that?
Well, it really falls into one of two areas, Chris. There is either incompetence in terms of the security planning, or collaboration or collusion in terms of enabling there to be a vacuum, a void within the security that could be potentially filled. I hope it's not. I mean, I hope it's neither, to be absolutely honest with you. But at the moment, it's very difficult to draw any speculation as it to being, you know, either one or the other.
Is there any defence, perhaps, that the Secret Service can plead on this because apparently it was outside of the perimeter of their remit, if you like, that this shooter was on a roof quite far away, apparently from this rally. So is that anything that they can say that perhaps they couldn't have foreseen?
Not really. I think, again, I'm finding this really difficult for it to be a defensible position by the Secret Service. Unless there was such a lapse or there was some breakdown or failure, obviously, by someone within the Secret Service. Now, Krista, don't get me wrong. I know and have some friends who were in the Secret Service, and they are incredibly competent, and they're very well rehearsed and very well experienced, having had numerous attempts, assassination attempts of various different types against former presidents. So I know that they have their game plan very well set out. But the concern is, and I don't subscribe to conspiracy theories, Christo. You and I have known each other a number of years, and when have you ever heard me endorse a conspiracy theory? But this is just very, very odd that this open position, and with rifles, whether it be, you know, something which is built to shoot from with a parabellum from a great distance, you know, there are some serious questions to be asked that, you know, you try and put your principal into a pocket of security that they can.
I don't know why it's doing that.
One of the biggest challenges, as we've seen in the world, where someone is right next to the stage of where they're talking.
I think.
Sorry, Chris.
No, that's all right. I think we were losing you for just a moment. Listen, well, really interesting to get your update on this. I think we're losing the connection a little bit there, so we'll leave it. But thank you so much for telling us what you think of that. And again, I don't go for conspiracy theories much. I do a little bit, but not loads. But I can see where Will is coming from on that, because it is quite staggering. If you look at some of the footage, it's quite staggering, just the open space that this shooter was from. And again, members of the crowd, there's interviews with people from the crowd often saying, we were saying, look, there's this guy over there about to shoot at former President Trump. So it's quite staggering that this person was missed. So, gross incompetence or something more sinister, well, those are going to be the kinds of questions that will be asked. And they're the kinds of questions that we will keep asking here on Talking.
Well, you heard what was said. And it makes no sense that rooftop was allowed to be a platform for the shooter. And again, take a look at the snipers. They had him in his crosshairs for about 45 seconds before they pulled the trigger on him, and they didn't pull the trigger on him until after he shot first. Let me know what you think. This is certainly going to get Trump an awful lot of votes, sympathy votes, but he doesn't care. He's such a narcissist, that he gets off on the crowds when he has thousands and thousands of people listening to his stupid speeches where he talks about the same garbage over and over again that he reads off of his teleprompter. Absolute joke. Let me know what you think. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.